fuck is up, boys? You goddamn jiggle farters. You bow-legged baddies. Even could, oh shit. Okay, drop that shit. I could even say you're the malicious midgets. Okay, you're the Han John fucking homies. Alright? Now, one thing I do want to work on and try to really focus on today is the cinematic point of my videos. You know what I mean? Because, oh yeah, also, this is an update. We're good though, we're good. We're figuring it out. I want to focus more on that cinematic part of those videos. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it just looks like I'm recording in my fucking room and doing normal shit, right? So, I want to make it kind of feel more like a VGer, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and yap for 4 minutes before I start doing the first thing, okay? Now, I want to clean my room. I want to maybe do some random shit. I don't know. I got some chores. I might film those. Those could be interesting, right? Then, I want to start a yap. You know what I mean? But without further ado, let's get straight to it, okay? You know what's gonna happen. I'm cleaning my room first. Alrighty, what is up, Han John homies? We are here cleaning the room. First, we're gonna kind of get started on the couch, fixing it up a bit. Then we're gonna move on to the bed. Now, I just want to let you guys know, drop a comment down below. How are you guys doing today? Alright? Now, we're moving on to the desk, kind of cleaning it up a bit because it does get a little messy in between the videos, you know what I mean? Because I do fucking live here. Yeah, I was kind of over it at this point. I was just like, fuck, I don't want to clean no more. But, you know, getting things kind of situated. I got a new pipe. It's Rick. It's pretty dope. We're just kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah, kind of gone for a second, wiping down everything, getting everything real clean. Got the ads going. Didn't even pay attention. That's how locked in I was. Now we're getting back over here. So my last arm on my mic kind of broke. It was real shitty, but I had an old one, so I kind of just replaced it with that one. I had two of the other one, but I just figured I'd make it a better one just in case. Not really chasing a new mic. I did take out the box from under there. I did have two mics as well. Might want to figure out how to do like a different mic on my phone. Who knows? Maybe one day I will, but yeah. Ready? Now, basically, I'm probably going to talk about it in the voiceover. I just changed out the mic arm. That's about it. And now for this next kind of little bit of a segment, I'm going to, just in case I don't remember to explain it, I got the little stuff kind of picked up. Now is when I'm just going to go through and do everything else, like the vacuuming and stuff like that. And I do want to get the wires under my desk a little more sorted out, you know, because, yeah, so without further ado, let's get it started, okay? Now, I'm just kind of picking up the rug a little bit here because I have that type of rug that just be getting dirty as hell over time, bro. Like, not even, like, it'll be sturdy right now while I'm editing this video and nothing really happened, you know what I mean? I was just kind of taking notes to talk for the yap, you know? And kind of just getting it done real quick because a happy room is a clean room, you know what I mean? We can't be beating our meat in a dirty bed in a dirty room, you feel me? I don't feel like doing the wires today, okay? Now we're just gonna vacuum, clean up a little bit more, and then we're gonna get to the fucking Han John homie chats, okay? Now I know it's been a while since we've done the Han John homie chats, okay? No, it hasn't. We've been doing them now, but before it's been a while, and I'm kind of getting into my own little groove of it because the video went a little more viral than the other one, so I started doing those. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of adapt, but just gotta get this done. Got the vacuum, get the couch. Drop a comment down below. What are y'all smoking on? What are y'all doing right now? What's your favorite YouTuber at the moment? Just let me know. Alrighty, now, after some extensive note-taking, okay, I have now figured out what I want to talk about, okay? Now, there is something that I have stumbled across that I find pretty fucking interesting, right? Now, this is kind of that topic of how the fuck we figured out how to get high in every single era, okay? Now, I think that's kind of a crazy thing. How the fuck did we just figure it out every single time? Now, I feel like the human race just loves to get high, right? We just always find the ways to get high. Now, it wasn't always just as easy as going to your local dispensary or your local crack dealer, right? You can't just go buy a pipe from fucking Ricky Bobby and smoke on that shit in the back alleyway, okay? Now, everybody has a local dealer in the neighborhood, obviously, so you just go to them. Now, back in the day, wasn't so easy, okay? Now, I find it very interesting how the human race is kind of able to discover these compounds in every single era, right? It all started when everything was kind of unknown, right? Where everything was new, we're all just kind of figuring everything out, right? The Stone Age. Now, in the Stone Age, people weren't really sure when it all started, right? And that's when everything was unknown, just like I said. It's unknown when we even started, using these things as recreational. Now, believed to be in 8100 BC is when it kind of started out, right? To be kind of a more recreational thing and for more recreational use. Now, other people disagree, okay? Now, some suggest it was more of our primated ancestors that were using these things, these plants, these compounds, more plants, I guess, more as a recreational thing, right? And that's just how they wanted to use it. And a lot of them would use it in rituals. Now, dating back early to, I think, around 8100 BC as well in China, they would use cannabis and marijuana as kind of a ritual thing, right? Now, they would use these to perform rituals, which is kind of insane. You think, like, I don't know, you think we're really just tweaking all these beliefs, you know what I mean? Like, what does it make you think? What if, like, Jesus just got into the mushrooms, you know what I mean? After, like, a really religious dude. Now, other people suggest that we were junkies a lot later into our time, around 10,000 BC, right? When civilization started to kind of flourish a little more, but we had, like, farms and harvesting and gathering and things of that sort, right? Now, those things would kind of facilitate us and give us more access and more resources and downtime to be able to use those things and discover these different various compounds, right? Now, obviously, when we're growing different things and searching for different things, we're going to find different drugs, psychedelic, or whether they're seeds, we roll them up, they're like, oh, these are no good for eating. Smoke it, right? I don't know why our first thing is smoke it. We always just smoke everything. That's just what the fuck. Now, just because there's proof of the whole consumption of cannabis and things being used in a ritual sense in 81 BC, that doesn't mean that's technically where it all started. Now, we have a lot more proof after 10,000 BC, like I said, when there was more of civilization flourishing and such, right? And all of these things gave us more access and tools to facilitate the use of these psychedelic and non-psychedelic compounds, or just plants at that time, I guess, right? Now, here's when we kind of dive into what people were really into right now. Back in the Stone Age, what was their yard, right? What the fuck were they toking on, right? Now, were they taking blinkers off the puff bar? The vape pen puff bar, right? No. Now, we're gonna dive into that right now. 10,000 BC, I don't really know how to say the name, I don't know, we're just gonna skip that name, okay? They basically started Bud Light, okay? They kickstarted that shit. Now, they have basically mastered making beer, but in that time, beer was a little bit different, but it was still similar enough to call it beer, right? They were basically making fucking prison hooch, okay? Now, there's traces of this stuff found in around 8100 BC, and they're kind of progressing at 10,000, right? Of honey, and there were fermented fruit and things of that sort. And things about that is that it varied in different textures, right? Now, it was either soupy, and that's what you wanted, right? Soupy and not really chunky or anything. And sometimes it was kind of like a soup of cereal. You basically get an alcohol cereal. Now, the contents of this alcohol were much lower compared to the ones now, being around 3 to 4% compared to like the normal round beer being about 6 to 7, right? Now, when we look into that, we just kind of improved that more and became more and more of alcoholics. We always figure out a way to alter our mind, right? In some way, somehow, we just figure that shit out, right? Now, this was kind of better for them, right? Because they drank this more than they drank the actual water, okay? Which was kind of better because it gave them a reason to drink something else instead of dirty water. And the alcohol kind of killed off any infections or diseases they had in their bloodstream or anything else like that. You know what I mean? Because alcohol enters your bloodstream, which kind of protected them from getting sick from various things, right? Now let's jump over to North America, okay? What the fuck were they doing? Now there's coca and tobacco, right? Those are the non-psychedelic things that the Native American indigenous people kind of discovered, right? And you were really known for liking their stimulants, right? Like, I bet you they discovered coffee. Oh wait, they did. I'm a fucking idiot. Now, they really did love their stimulants, okay? They also dived into psychedelics, which I'm gonna dive into what those are in a second, which psychedelics they kind of fucked with, you know what I mean? But, which kind of makes me wonder as a person, what if these motherfuckers were just kind of like getting high as fuck, and they're like, my ancestors are speaking to me. The wind goes that way, and it goes very far. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck if they were like, I can hear the wind too, but it's talking to you, motherfucker. You been eating them shroomies? Okay, that's all I'm saying. Now, let's dive into what psychedelics they were taking. I'm just gonna read off of this list. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be making sexy, sweet eye contact with you guys 24/7, okay? But you are my little bow bag, bow-legged, bow-legged midget, ladies, okay? Now, some of these psychedelics include peyote, morning glory, salvia, dature, and other things, etc., as well as various magic mushrooms, okay? Which makes me believe, right, that they kind of did just kind of tweak out their beliefs, you know what I mean? Like, what if they'd all just kind of got all kinds of shrooms and started lighting up some peyote and just got in this little tent and started sweating it out, you know what I mean? Just doing their little dances and shit. What if they weren't even like dancing? Maybe they're just tweaking out and little kids seeing it and they carry it on through different generations, you know what I mean? That'd be a fucking crazy thing, but that's for a whole nother video, right? But like all great things, this one has to come to an end. I have to say goodbye to you guys because, you know, this video is taking a while to make and I gotta get it all edited and posted. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys like this John Homie chat, and I will see you guys in the next video.